Is MGM starting to approach a few actors regarding the Stargate movie? Are they trying to find their cast? Welcome to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. Now, about 6 months ago, I told you that actually Robert Carlyle, who used to be on Stargate Universe, has been approached about potentially appearing in a Stargate movie, TV series, something. They apparently put feelers out to his agents to find out whether he might or might not be interested. Now, we don't actually know what the result of that conversation was, but it was evidence that Amazon and MGM were starting to think about who they might like to appear in this series. Now, why are they looking at actors at this point? Well, it's very difficult to decide on development of the series unless you know who's going to appear in it. Now, for example, we are pretty confident that Amanda Tapping and Michael Shanks have both been approached and maybe even agreed already to appear in the movie and series, or at very least, verbally agreed. If they were seriously looking at Robert Carlyle, that would suggest very strongly that Stargate Universe and the Destiny was somehow going to be involved in those plans, or at very least, Mark Fergus, Penguin and Parker, or whoever is going to be producing this TV series, was wondering whether Stargate Universe could be involved, and they needed to approach one or two of the actors from that franchise to find out whether it was even possible. At the end of the day, if Robert Carlyle says, no, I'm not doing it, or David Blue does, etc., then the whole idea of Stargate Universe being involved in this kind of falls flat before it even starts. But now that we think we're going to be getting an announcement in the middle of June for the new Stargate franchise, I've started to hear loads of other rumours about other actors. One in particular I've now heard several times. But let's start with a ridiculous rumour that I actually think could possibly be true, but I'm hoping isn't. James Spader currently is appearing in The Blacklist.
Let's leave the suspense.
Shh, quiet.
Oh, I hate needles.
I'm going.
Okay, I really don't need to stay for this part. All of the smacking and the whacking.
Are you okay?
What is it? Oh, okay, Rudiger. If there's nothing else I can do for you, I think I'll go exploring.
Is a very successful actor. He obviously appeared in the original Stargate movie as Daniel Jackson. I heard very, very recently that there is a possibility that Amazon and MGM would quite like him to return to the new franchise. Now, I've already told you that Michael Shanks has been approached, so how would that work? Well, according to this source, James Spader would return, but he would not be playing Daniel Jackson. He would be playing an older character, a different person. They've sort of done this with reboots before. And there is also the argument that can sort of say, well, the original Stargate movie and the Stargate series kind of existed in different universes. So that's why we have different actors in the series. That's why a lot of the things like the Goa'uld were different, etc. So why not bring a big actor like James Spader through? It would excite the fans. We'd love it. Now, I doubt this is true. I very much doubt it. But would I say it's 100% not true? Would I say that Amazon would never do it? No, it's 100% sort of thing Amazon would do. But let's have a look and let's wait and see. At the end of the day, his series, The Blacklist, is coming to an end soon. He maybe is free. So let's see. Joshua Orpin played Superman in the Titan series recently. His name has come up once or twice. Now, I'm going to put this as a maybes. He's quite a young, up-and-coming actor. He wouldn't be particularly expensive to get in the role. He's not bad. You could see him as a young military sort of soldier. You know, if they're bringing in a new SG-1 team or something, and he's going to be sort of like a newbie in the SGC. His name has been battered around a few times. I'm not really bothered either way. In Star Trek Voyager, Ethan Phillips played Neelix. He's one of those actors that pops up in all sorts of things. He's most recently been in Avenue 5. He's a likeable, quite comedic actor. I've heard the rumour 2 or 3 times now that MGM would quite like him to appear in the new Stargate franchise, potentially as a sort of a background, a scientist sort of character. I completely, again, could see this happening. I'm not really bothered either way, though, if I'm 100% honest. A couple of the actors, though, that I've heard named most often, and I've heard these both named now several times from different sources, and it would seem that showrunners would be interested in potentially building the new show around, are two actors, Erin Kellyman and Santiago Cabrera. Now, Erin Kellyman was most recently in the Willow series. She played Jade Claymore. She also was in The Falcon Winter Soldier. She's quite an up-and-coming actress. She's that one with the red curly hair. You'd know her when you see her. I actually think this is quite an interesting character. Again, she'd be quite young. She would have to be sort of like new to the SGC, I should imagine. Then, depending on whether there is still a military and potentially a cooperation between civilian organizations with the new Stargate project, basically on whether it's announced that the whole world knows about the Stargate or not, would be interesting. So whether she's military or not, we'd have to see. She could definitely handle herself. She was pretty good in the Willow with the swords and everything. So, when it comes to the swords, fights and everything, she was also pretty good in the Winter Soldier, actually, in the same respect. So she could definitely do a lot of the acting fight scenes and things. She's a pretty good actress. I could see this lady coming into this and actually being a very popular character. Santiago Cabrera, though, is the one that I'm most interested in. Now, this guy was in the first 2 seasons of Picard, playing Captain Rios. Now, he's pretty much the only thing that was any good in the first 2 seasons of Picard. He's the only thing in either series that I particularly consistently enjoyed. He's one of those actors that I just like him in everything he does. I first came across him years ago. He played a character in Merlin, which was a BBC show over here. He was also in Heroes. He played the artist who was painting the future and stuff in the good season of Heroes. You remember that? The good one, before it then wandered off into the nonsense it became. So he's a actor that's been around for quite a while. He has just obviously finished on Picard. He doesn't have any major big projects coming up. He's doing like some sort of podcasting and something else. So he would seem to be available. I've heard his name 4 or 5 times now over the last 6 months or so. I didn't really think much of it initially because, we were so far away from a new series. It seemed odd to have an actor in mind of this level sort of thing. But the name seems to be consistently brought back up again. So if he's available and if he wants to do it, he would seem to be a character that could sort of take on that Richard Dean Anderson sort of role. The slightly older soldier. He definitely has a wide range of acting, so he can do a little bit of the humour. He can do sort of like some of those sarcastic little whips that Richard Dean Anderson was so brilliant at. And to be honest, if you think about him in Stargate, I can kind of see him fitting. It's the actor that I think most, out of all the names I've mentioned previously, he's the one that goes, for me, yeah, I can see him there. If any of these rumours are true, I'm hoping the one about Santiago Cabrera is the one that's actually true, because he could be great. But guys, get into the comments. Tell me what you think about any of these actors I've mentioned. Does any of them think that, yes, they would 100% fit within the Stargate franchise? Could they very easily become part of the Stargate family? Or actually, you don't like them, you don't want them anywhere near Stargate, thank you very much. But who else would you like if not these guys? I'd love to know. Please get into the comments and tell me exactly what you're thinking. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out. And you can go over to patreon.com/SciTrek, where you get to see most of our new videos first. And for a small contribution each month that really supports the channel, you get to see them without the adverts. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.